All right, what's going on? What's going on? My name is Ugo Opara, PA licensed real estate agent and investor, reporting to you live from Fallcroft today. For those of you who are not too familiar, Fallcroft is one of the suburbs of Philadelphia. But anyways, what's going on? What's going on? I just want to make a public apology. I am very, very sorry. I never expected this YouTube stuff to be taken off the way it is. A lot of you guys send me texts, attempt to call me, email me. And I get it. I mean, I put my information out to be contacted, but it's not manageable. I cannot keep up with everything that's going on and run everything else that I'm running. So I just want to apologize for everyone and just kind of come clear and just show you guys the best way to get my attention and get properly serviced. I want to make sure you guys are getting the right information so you're able to make the right decisions and take your business in the right direction. But it just has to work in a way that's gonna it just has to be done in a way that's gonna work best for me. So I just want to go ahead and talk about that. The absolute best way to go ahead and get my attention is to pay for it. You know what I mean? So that's number one, obviously. So I have a website. I think you can go here, click the link, book now. And you would pick the investor consultation. It's 16.50 for an hour. But if you tell me that you're coming from YouTube, we'll take off $60. It'll just be 102, 102.50, and we just kind of take it from there. The second best way to get in contact, oops, second best way to get in contact with me would be just to shoot me an email. So if you're shooting me an email, just understand that that is not going to be something that I get back to you right away. That's just something that I'm going to get to at my leisure the moment that I have the freedom to go about getting to it. So, again, if it's something urgent, then number one is going to be your best bet. But if you're not in a rush and you got some time, then I would recommend that you shoot me an email. Subject line must be, and again, if it's not this, I'm just not even going to answer it. YouTube question for Ugo the agent. So, I mean, you should questions. Let me make this correction right now before someone drops in the comment section poo-pooing me. Make this correction right now. All right, let's get right back to it. So YouTube questions for Ugo the agent. And then when you're doing this, I mean, just feel at home. I mean, I'm not here to critique anyone or shoot anyone down. So feel free to ask me whatever the hell that you want to ask me. There's no such thing as a simple question. Feel free to ask away. And if you got a question where it's multiple layers that you want answered, by all means, dump it in, dump it in. You know what I mean? Or if you want to run a scenario by me, dump it in. Property analysis, deal analysis, whatever. You know what I mean? Dump it in. You know what I mean? Throw whatever you got at me. I'm gonna do my best to get it answered and at least knock out at least one a week, or one every other week, or or at least three a month. Let's put it that way. I'm gonna do my best to do at least three a month, um, and just kind of do it that way. Plus, I feel like with the new structure, probably a lot of you guys aren't gonna follow directions anyway. So I feel like the number of inquiries are gonna go down simply because I'm now trying to put order to the chaos. Don't be shy. You know what I mean? I love to see people's personality when you're asking the questions. I think it's always great to let me know what you're trying to accomplish or what you're trying to do. It really helps me out to kind of be motivated to answer your question. And then let me know. Also, another reason to be shy is it's just going to be between me and you. You know what I mean? Let me know if you want me to cover your identity. I'll cover your identity. I mean, no one will know who wrote you sent in the email because I'll chop everything off as you'll see as we move forward. And what I do is I'll take the time out. I'll do a video response and I'll do my best to answer your question in as much detail as I possibly can, which is what we're about to do now. So this video, we're going to go through an email that was sent to me. I just grabbed a random email. This was probably the most recent email. I think this thing came in, yesterday, 2 days ago. Um, and There was the most recent one I didn't do. I didn't do text messages or voicemails or anything like that, or anything on Instagram or Facebook. So sorry if you're reaching out to me in those avenues. This was just emails. It was easiest for me, so I just ran with it. All right, so let's get into the what is the actual question. So the question is, hi, my name is blah 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 blah. And my husband and I are looking to buy a tax lien delinquent property with the goal of renting. I have watched several of your informative YouTube videos. Why, thank you. Okay, also, definitely, if you want your email to get answered, compliment the hell out of me. Com Butter me up. Butter me up. And took you up on your offer to email you that can you refer us to a lawyer that will perform a title/lien search? Also, what would the price range for such be? Also, once we have the property for a year and are able to get title insurance, do we have to obtain any type of landlord license or certificate? Is there anything that we would need to do on a regular basis with owning a rental? How do you advertise for your rentals? Sorry for all the questions, but I really appreciate your knowledge base and willingness to share it with your community. Thank you. All right, so let's unpack that. Let's dive deep into all of that sauce and just kind of break it down. So we'll answer each question one by one and just kind of take it from there. So boom. So the first thing that she asked was a lawyer that will perform title and lien search. So one of the things that he asked was, what is the price? The price is going to range anywhere from what I've seen is 125 to 150. Wait, I put the cost down there, so skip that. Skip that. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and just edit that because I have the ability to edit that. I love this. You guys see just how imperfect I am. All right, so lawyer that will perform title and lien searches. So number one, I use title companies. I don't use a lawyer. I can't remember if I used to or whatever the case may be, but I use title companies, and it doesn't really cost me that much. You know what I mean? That's something that, So number one, I use title companies, and then also I haven't bought anything from a tax lien. I haven't bought anything at all this year. You know what I mean? Other lead sources have just been proven to be a lot more flexible for the speed that I need to be buying them at right now. So that has not been for flexibility reasons. It just not has not worked for me. As she mentioned in her email, until they have title, they can't really do anything. And when you lack title for a property, you're unable to do anything with financing. So HELOC out the window, refinance out the window, cash out, whatever you want to call it, it's all out the window. You cannot do that with a tax lien property because, the chain of ownership has not solidified yet. So, um, translation, your money is stuck. And what do I mean by that? That means if you go down to the sheriff's cell and you buy a property for 30,000 and you end up putting 50,000 into it, 60,000 into it to renovating it and bringing it back to life, now you're all in, let's say 70,000. The property might be bringing in $1,400 a month, which is great, right? As in gross rent. Should be bringing in 1,650 if you're one of my coaching students, you know what I'm talking about. But let's say it's bringing in, 1,400, which is great. But now you have in essence $70,000 tied in. Now, if you're balling, you have 70,000 to just leave sitting in one property. That's great. Whoop-de-doo, that's freaking great. That's fantastic. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. But for almost everyone else, right? You want that money to be actively working for you. So it's very important that your money is not stuck in a property and you're able to move it from here to here to here and keep going. So that's the issue. That is the issue with that situation. So number two, cost of title searchers. This is the mistake that I made earlier on. Costs are around 125 to 250. You know what I mean? At least that's what I remember. But again, one of the things I will say is that things get better with time and volume. What does that mean? Is like as you build the relationship with this person and or this company, typically it's a company, and you may have a sales rep or a territory person that you're working with. But as you build that relationship, they're going to start doing you favors. You know what I mean? They're going to start doing you favors, and your cost to do business with them will decrease as your volume with them increases. So, just keep that in mind. Like it's all real businesses are always about the relationship. So, keep that in mind. And the number three, documentation for a landlord in Philadelphia. So this is a list that I can think of off the top of my head of everything that you would need to be in compliance, or yeah, for the most part. So number one, you need your business activity license and your rental license, right? So I felt in my mind, I really felt like I wanted to start with saying you need your LLC, EIN, and operating agreement. But you don't need all that. You buy a property in your personal name, and you're off to the racehorses. So I didn't put that in there. But if you are buying an LLC, then all that stuff needs to be all that stuff. You would want all that stuff set up, along with the bank account and things like that. But I figured, I don't want to get into that. So, business activity license and rental license, they're two different things. You can get them from the city of Philadelphia. You can, go through the Eclipse website and kind of take it from there. If you're running it underneath your name, you're going to need your social. If you're running it underneath the name of a company, you're going to need the EIN. Regardless of what you do, you're going to need, I think, what is it, the Philadelphia tax ID number? And that's what they're going to ask you for so that you can use it to create the business activity license and then move on to get your rental license. Didn't catch it at all, not even close. Next would be, signing up for any programs that are landlord specific. The one that I'm most familiar with is the gas companies program, so I would sign up for that one. The next one would be certificate of rental suitability. That's something that you can get online, offered by the city of Philadelphia. Lead-based paint cert. This is kind of relatively new. Typically, the standing rule, it has always been that unless you are renting to kids that are 6 and under, you really didn't have to do too much in regards to, testing for lead or whatever, whatever, whatever. Because the biggest detriment, the biggest cost, the biggest lead-based paint is really the most common way that it's going to harm someone is when they ingest it, right? You have chipping paint, someone picks it up, puts it in their mouth, and they eat it, and then that becomes problematic. So that's typically what you're going to be seeing, um, when you're talking about any type of lead issue or lead-based paint issue. So what happens is who's likely to pick chipping paint off a wall and put it in their mouths? None other than these kids, man. Gotta love the kids. So that's why, 6 and under, they're hoping that, the landlord, not even hoping, they're demanding that the landlord provide, proof that the property is free of lead-based paint. So that's something that I throw in there because is actually relatively cheap. If you're going in there and you're renovating the property, you're repainting everything, you're making it look nice, it is very fairly cheap to just have someone in there go in, take a couple samples and say, yeah, this place isn't in, in isn't displaying anything anywhere, right? It's very good to have that. Your tax clearance, just want to make sure you don't owe Uncle Sam any properties. And then as I dug into deeper, it's not even about Uncle Sam. It's just to make sure that you don't owe Philly any taxes, property taxes, or whatever the case may be. And then last but not least, City of Philadelphia Partners for Good Housing. This is actually a PDF that's issued from the L&I department. L&I department, handles landlord and tenant relationships, and that is something that they have mandated that anyone that is renting in the City of Philadelphia needs to provide this PDF to the prospective tenants within 60 days from them moving into the property if it wasn't presented before, and just make sure that you have it. So typically what I do, I just have my little system. So when someone signs a lease as part of a series of events that take place once they're moving into the property, it just automatically emails them a copy of that attachment and just has them reply that they've received and looked it over and have no further questions. So that is that. Um, so let's keep moving on. Next set of questions. Things to do on a regular basis once you actually own your rental property. I would say probably one of my one of the most important things, for landlords that get really lazy. or just people forget, is you want to do regular walkthroughs. Give me 1 second. I'm parched. I apologize. And shout out to Malt. They're not sponsoring this this recording at all, but I mean, this is I love Malt. I'm Nigerian, and Malt is just it's delicious. How do you? My girlfriend hates. Anyways, let me not go on a tangent, but you want to do regular walkthroughs. You want to make sure that these tenants are maintaining the space the way you want them to. And I sneak my walk-ins through, so I always schedule an annual pest treatment every year. I always schedule my maintenance guy to do a walkthrough or whatever contractor I feel at the time, and then I schedule myself to do a walkthrough. So that's at minimum of at least three walkthroughs in a year, and I just kind of break it every quarter or every kind of break it up into every 4 months. I want to be able to look and see what's going on inside the property. And people are like, "Oh, well, doesn't that take forever?" No, it doesn't take forever. I mean, it literally can be planned to where you can do all your properties in one day. It does not take that long. Translation, I don't have enough properties where it's taking me that long. I would love to. I would love to have that many properties where like I don't have enough time to walk through all of them in a day. That would be fantastic. Um, tax clearance, again, that's something that's never gonna change. They're always gonna want that updated. Number three, review your insurance, right? So as a landlord, you have to still carry a policy even though you're not living in that property. So it's always best to review that policy, see if anything has changed, see if they can get you a better price. Tell them, competition such and such to send you a flyer saying they can do such and such with your interest rate. I mean, not interest rate, with your monthly payment, right? So now you want to just kind of see if you can get it lowered, see if you can get it lowered. Game plan with your real estate friendly CPA. Yeah, CPAs are necessary. They're absolutely a must, and that's a relationship I advise that you cultivate. Even if you don't even got no properties, just go to your CPA and build a relationship and just let them know like, hey, here's the game plan. Here's where I'm trying to go, right? And let them help you with everything. Business formation, what to do, what banks would she recommend. I mean, there's so many things. So many things. You don't have to figure it all out. And then number five, probably my favorite, is just kind of review your systems, right? Make sure that things aren't coming up over and over and over again. If the same thing keeps coming up over and over and over again, then that's a pain point, and we need to fix it. So we take that time to kind of reflect, bask in the presence of what's going on, and just get the work. You know what I mean? Is rent collection working for you? Are they charging too many fees? Is there a new competitor that is charging less of a fee? Maintenance request, you know what I mean? Are you sure? Is it complicated for the tenant, right? Is the contractor getting it okay? Whatever. I mean, you understand what I'm saying. You just want to keep an eye on all these important things as you're owning, if you're the one owning a rental property. All right, next we have answers continued. So next question was, how do you advertise for your tenants? And to be honest, A sounds very arrogant, but let me fix that real quick. A should look like this. There you go. There you go. So number one is that I don't, right? I don't really market for my tenants. They come to me. It sounds like a snobby thing to say, but the way that I've structured my business is that all my tenants are government subsidized rents, meaning my tenants are not paying 100% for their rent, right? And typically what happens in these government subsidized programs is that you're going to have a caseworker that's working with a group of people, and it's their job to find housing. They're looking for decent housing to put their people into, and they're typically territory based. So what happens for me is that I'll just get, a phone call. Hey, just touching base, seeing if you got anything. And then I'll get a phone call from this person from that program. And then I'll get a phone call from this person from that You know what I mean? So it'll kind of be a situation where like at least every month I'm gonna have a conversation with like three or four people from three different programs. that I would like to that I've done business in the past and kind of have it there. And that's why the last thing is so important. It says things get better with time and volume. As you increase your volume, you know what I mean, and people can see that they can rely on you to have decent product and in a timely manner, then they'll just start saying, hey, yeah, such and such is going to be this property. They have a two-bedroom here, a one-bedroom here, and then, it's all going to be done by in 30 days. So, yeah, you know what I mean? Like they start to see that this person's consistent, so they'll come to you first when they have a person that needs space in your area. So that's and that by itself really fills maybe a good 80%. 80%, anytime I have a vacancy, 80% of the time, that's typically how it gets filled. I don't do any marketing. There aren't any flyers. It just doesn't happen. I don't do that. Next thing is section PHA, which, Housing Authority. And the number one way that I work with them is they have a website, not exclusively, but mainly for, HVAC landlords. I think did I say HVAC? I think it's HVC landlords. Um, to post their vacancies so that other tenants with vouchers can apply and take it from there. And outside of the website that PHA has, there is also they also have meetings at their office where landlords can showcase what bit properties they have available. I've never done this again because I've never needed to, but yeah, that's one way. Number two, I mean next one it would be your database. You just want to and database is something I don't think I've ever really talked about, but at the moment you start saying you're going to be in real estate and you start collecting rental applications and things like that, you want to build a database where it just collects everyone's information. First name, last name, phone number, email address. It collects all their information and you can then anytime you get something that's available, it's awesome that you can say, "Hey, I have a two-bedroom that's going for this in this area. I have a one bedroom that's going for this in this area, and I have a this much amount going to this and this an area. See if anyone can help you find a tenant. Um, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Because you want to build that database so that you're not always hunting or starting from scratch, right? Next thing, one of my favorites, social media. And not all social media because not all platforms are geared towards taking action right away. So that might be a situation where maybe a billboard might be better, but social media, specifically Facebook and Instagram, I love it. You know what I mean? You do your stories on both, you do your posts on both, you do feel, you can even start even doing video now with both of those platforms. So it's been pretty cool. Um, Next underneath that, which I think is just it's very prevalent still. It's just it just kind of creeps me out sometimes with Craigslist. So you have Craigslist. Of course, you just go into the housing section, for rent, and you just type everything, get the pictures uploaded, and rock and roll. And then the last one is just all the websites that you're already familiar with. So HomeSnap, Zillow, Trulia, Redfin, blah, blah, all these other names that you can use to do research, but just don't stray too far. Um, yeah, yep. So I think that was the last and final one. So hopefully this information was something that you found um valuable. Oh, wait a minute. So many of you guys have been asking when am I going to be teaching something or a course or whatever the case may be, and I want to proudly let you guys know that it is finally happening. And this is sort of what this is what my draft of what the flyer is going to look like. But so stay tuned. If you're not following me on Instagram yet, please go ahead and follow me on Instagram. This is where I'm going to announce when this goes live. Ticket prices are going to be $600, $500, and then it's going to go up to $600 for anyone that did not sign up within the first 3 weeks. In first 30 days, and that'd be that. That'd be that. So the reason, the thing with this class is I'm teaching you everything I know. You are gonna get everything I know. right? We're also going to help you with the formation of an LLC. You get a discount on that service, and then we'll also help you with the formation, setting up a bank account. If too many people sign up, then this might not be something that we are able to do that day. Might just be something we do after the entire like group session or whatever the case may be. But really, what the goal of this is, it's number one to teach you so you know everything you need to do. But then number two is actually to put you to work. So many times and on so many occasions, I have gone out to, this event or whatever the case may be. I get all this information, fantastic information, and then I'm bonding with so many people there, and then I leave and there's no action taken on the information that was learned, right? No action taken. The people that were in that class spent all this money and took no action. So what I'm doing differently is I'm only opening it up to 30 seats. And what's going to happen with those 30 seats is once the classes are done, we're all pulling our funds together and we're doing a deal, right? So now everyone's experienced it. Everyone's gotten their feet wet. You know what I mean? It's a different situation, different way of feeling. So yeah, definitely look out for that. I think on the calendar, date wise, I'm thinking September 14th. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm thinking September 14th, and then September 15th. 2-day event. Day one, we're gonna do classrooms. We're gonna pound everything. Make sure you guys have an understanding of it. Day two, we're gonna be out in the fields, and I'm gonna be asking questions, testing your comprehension. Bring a calculator. Make sure you know how to do math. All these things I'm going to be checking, and just, rock and roll from there. And once you understand everything, then we're going to go into the field and we're going to break it down like, okay, cool, this property was listed at 45. I bought it at 25. Why do you guys think that I put in the price where I put it in? You know what I mean? Things like that. So it's going to be a very interactive, very hands-on. And after the whole class is finished, I'm still going to partner with the 30 people that had originally signed up, and we're just going to build this thing from there. So anyways, it's a pleasure to be making these videos for you guys. It's awesome that you guys are emailing me. I apologize so much for all the people that I just haven't gotten back to, haven't had the time. So so yeah, that's all I got to say. And I'm signing out. All right. So my name is Ugo Opara, PA licensed real estate agent and investor. Thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully I see you at this class. All right. Thank you, and have a good one.